Some question? This side, on this side?
Your Holiness, actually I want to clear my concept as we all are thinking that appreciating kindness, first competency on secular ethics. So we thought that we should appreciate the kindness who kind to us. But the main goal of the appreciating kindness is recognize appreciating kindness over cruelty. So can you clear my concept? What is right? We should appreciate kindness over cruelty, or appreciate kindness for them who kind to us.
Lehla mi role, lehla mi role, correct? Ka? Oh, cruel.
Cruelty.
Cruelty, oh, in kajal. Sit down. It's firstly, analyze. I think the cruelty, not just action, but motivation. So where there is compassionate motivation, the cruelty.
There's no chance for cruelty.
So now think, is it cruelty, hatred, anger, or suspicion? So now we have to sort of analyze the mental level, emotional level. What is the value of anger or hatred? No value. Even physical health is very bad. Now scientists, medical scientists say the constant anger, constant hatred, fear is actually eating our immune system. I think, do you ever have some experience when you visit the hospital or seek some advice from doctor? Any doctor is telling you, oh, you should have more anger, then your illness reduces.
Have you ever met such doctor who advises this way?
I think doctor always say, rest, calm. But doctor usually do not know how to bring calmness. That's now the Buddhist psychology, ancient Indian psychology. Now today, you see, Buddhism, I think at least we Tibetan Buddhists, I think we still kept all this knowledge through rigorous study. Otherwise, in India and other Buddhist countries, not much study. So Indians they are the spiritual brothers, sisters, Hindus, Jains. Also, you see now, I think very rare who really study seriously. They simply satisfy to carry some puja like that, some ritual, isn't it? So now, because of the motivation level, is analyze what's the value of anger. Once we realize anger is no use, destroy our peace of mind immediately. In the long run, all negative or expressions or word, attitude or action come. So once we have sort of full conviction, anger is bring only negative thing, unhappiness thing. Then try to look what is the opposite of anger. Then loving kindness. Then the loving kindness, what value? It brings immediately peace of mind. And through that way, your physical condition, health, physical health also becoming better. So then, once we develop awareness, anger is harmful, destructive, compassion, loving kindness is helpful, then that kind of sorrow, the awareness itself makes differences. Once you realize anger is very harmful, then the strength, because of the intensity of anger, gradually reduce. So, I'm thinking,
Cruelty.
or cruelty, these kind of things automatically reduce. Cruelty, firstly, something happened, so then develop anger, then the traces of anger remain there. Then whenever you find opportunity, then more cruel attitude, cruelty. So all these we have to look motivation level. So actually, the ahimsa, non-violence, very much related with motivation level. You see, with very bad motivation, try to cheat other people, try to exploit other people, big smile and a nice word and some sort of gift. It's actually violence. Like parent or teacher, you see, in order to, because of out of sort of sense of concern of their children, their students, you see, well-being, sometimes use harsh word. For example, my tutor, you see, some always you see keep whip to threat me. So looks violence, but motivation is sincere sense of concern of my well-being. So that's actually non-violence. The number of occasion my tutor use harsh word. So at that moment, sometimes I feel angry. Now I really realize, you see, all this is a concern for my own future, my own well-being. So then you see, instead of anger, feel appreciation. Like that. Right, next question.
Your Holiness, I have a question regarding contentment. I want to understand, in the sense, as a person, I'm not very ambitious, but sometimes I think I don't know the difference between not being too ambitious and being content, because my family or some friends tell me that you can do so much better and this, that, but I'm content with wherever I am. So I can't really understand the difference and understand contentment.
Again, now think motivation level and then result level. Result. For nation, for community, we should not practice contentment. Further development we need. Even material field. India, poor country, still we need more development. And even I think 7 billion human beings, I think, I don't know precisely. Do you know the poverty? For example, America, you see, what percentage still remain under poverty? An idea? No idea. I think India, much bigger number. Poor, difficult. So we must sort of further economic development in that respect, and then further development. Firstly, you yourself, you see, make richer, and then can do more other people. Not just, you see, your luxury life, or like gambling, not like that. Yeah. So you see, make you yourself rich and then help other people. So the personal level, only personal level, and then contentment is very good practice, one very important practice. You see, otherwise, you see, you want today 100 because of the 100 rupees, then still feel, oh, I want 1,000 rupees, then 10,000 rupees. The 100,000 rupee you get, Still, you feel hungry. I want 1 million or billion, like that. So, without practice of contentment, your mind always something hungry, hungry, hungry. So that spoil your sleep, isn't it? A contented, much better, isn't it? I think the purpose, and according to the Buddhist tradition, you see, like Shantadevas, you see, advice, you see, every action we have to make, we have to judge the result or purpose and motivation. Then in certain action, generally consider negative, but with sincere motivation and reasonable purpose, then it becomes sort of or positive. We have to take action like that. Okay. So the question is Jabashasana.
So you have to see the pros and cons of the situation.
Oh. Okay. That also is related with Buddhist sort of concept. Everything is patit samupad, everything interrelated, interconnected. So under certain circumstances, certain action is wrong. And under certain circumstances, the same action is right. There's no something independent, absolute, everything interdependent, interconnectedness. What do you think? Too much flexible? Too much? Oh. This side, any question?
Hi. How do you suggest someone overcomes a negative experience or situation?
Study can solve it. Now, you see, actually, I think ultimately related with our mental attitude. Now, for example, my own case, at age 16, I lost my freedom. Age 24, I lost my own country. Since then, become stateless, and the refugee. And worst thing, inside Tibet, the very, very difficult, very dangerous situation. And now there is actually danger. Some of the narrow-minded sort of officials, they really thinking how to eliminate Tibetan unique cultural heritage, including language. So very sad. But then the one Indian master sort of advice is when you face some problem, think whether that problem can overcome or not. If there is possibility to overcome, then no worry, no need to worry. Make effort. If the situation is such, no way to overcome that suffering, then no use too much worry or sadness. So you should be practical. And then when you face some difficulties, use your intelligence. Look from wider perspective. That's really negative or not. Each negative thing looks negative, but side effect, some positive there. So once now for example, we become refugee because of too much sort of suppression inside Tibet. Very sad. But that brings, other hand, more new opportunity. So thinking that line, then the anger, intensity of anger reduce. So the animal cannot do that. Only we human being use our brain properly, look every event from wider perspective. That very, very helpful. Next question. Nadesh?
Your Holiness, I'm one of the co-instructors for the University of Minnesota group, and I'm doing my PhD at Emory University. For my PhD research, I'm looking at death and dying from Tibetan Buddhist and medical perspective. In my research, I've observed that for many Buddhist practitioners, death is employed as an important point of reference for meditation. Could you please explain why it is so important for those meditators?
See, reminds impermanence, including death. Does not mean just death is something important, right? Thinking death. No, other hand, you see, the the habit way or thinking I live 100 years or something. So then certain sort of because of the facility way, certain sort of thing or for this life, more money, including fame, and for that reason you see exploitation, and in order to develop some bigger name or fame, sometimes telling lies or pretended like that. So all these negative things, many negative things, negative action is related with the concept I remain permanently, I remain a much longer period. Like I think the king who constructed Taj Mahal, I think they consider they remain long period. And Honecker, the party chief of East Germany, he mentioned the Berlin Wall remained 100 years. So you see, some kind of concept of permanent, I will remain a long period. Then many negative things happen. So that's why you see thinking, life, there's limitation, and impermanent. Otherwise, you see, if you carry your life, meaningful life, and then you should think, I should live long in order to serve others. And that's why Sidu Chadra do Sidu. Right? Tigo Mangs Sergi in Sidu Geneva. Right? Gawa Mangs do in Sidu Geneva. Right? Doesn't go Midawa Commerce and go Dux Dane sometimes.
So meditation on impermanence and death and has to be understood within certain context of what you are going to, your purpose. So in Tibetan Buddhist practice, we have the practice of longevity. Doing some practices for long life. If you are able to do that within this understanding that you are going to serve others more than just for selfish motive, then it's good.
자자가 이 미다 동네 동 다음에 사 순도와 준비되기 대신한 순도. 다 동네에 몇 제주 미다와 미다와 보면이 거바 가르스는 동네만 소매하지다. 즉 집이 쳐지는 데니 깨지게 지금도 줄라서 두 삼단도 즉 이대 매듭 즉 삼 거야지. 이 딱보 때문에 매버 즉 삼을 거요니 그 탈베게 직도에서 진짜 삼단이 동요 삼단 대 다가서 동요 거 주고 말에 산지 좀데 다지 지고 그렇다고.
So within the teaching of the Four Noble Truths, the Buddha has actually taught about the First Noble Truth. Regarding the First Noble Truth, the four characteristics of it, which are impermanence and suffering and then no, emptiness and selflessness. So, with regard to the meditation on impermanence, it is for the purpose of us. For the purpose that we realize that things are not.
It is also quite sort of quite sort of interesting. The impermanent. There are two levels, like death. That's grosser level of impermanence. The subtle level of impermanence, now momentarily changing. Everything momentarily changing. Now, because of the atomic level, you see nothing remain because of the
Static.
stand still, always moving, always moving. So that level of impermanence is the subtle level of impermanence. So the subtle level of impermanence is the basis of impermanence. Now that, since things, impermanence, those things, impermanence, it shows which cause create impermanence nature. Then you see that develop understanding the everything. Changing is based on cause, due to cause. So then this body changing momentarily. So what was the cause of this body? And then karma. And the karma is a positive karma, negative karma, entirely depend on motivation. The clash, desire, anger, ignorance. You see, due to that, any action is bad karma, causing suffering. So this is very, very related with whole the Buddhist, the psychology of the whole system. Right? Usually, I think in Tibetan, we are Buddhist country, very, very so devoted. But at public level, the knowledge about Buddhism very limited. So many of our faith is a blind faith, without knowing the whole sort of the philosophical background or system. So I always telling Tibetan should pay more attention for study. That's very important. Some scholars say Buddhism is not religion. Buddhism is science of mind. It's quite true. So therefore, 제가 먼저 정주 그들에 제 메다고 검사를 때 런던 튼들체 제 런던 튼들이 접종 사용하는 거예요. 그가 애니 대바디에 지금 라몰 교수 산지죠. 애니 라메 가르수네 뒤 냥고랬으나 좀 전에 코랑기 순시베데 엔 다시 지수도 좀 전에 지수는 봐 만조 라마 주인이 내 진짜 성부도니 차 다시 지수 거래 마도 내 레버디 진세 렉통 지수 가시 줘야 성민도 와 만조 라마서 지수도 와 또 제가 가지고 I publicly sort of mentioning in Ladakh and some area, and also when I give some teaching, see, because of popular level is our faith is blind faith. So we must, I emphasizing Buddhists, all Buddhists, we should be 21st century Buddhist, not blind faith. Study, analyze. Then Buddhist faith must develop. Like that. 그래서 미라고서 누리지. 그런 거 사실은 미라고서 다 왔던 거요. 이네 미다 동네 동 다미시 두 군중자 기견시 고고시와 자능 인중 람르고 두고 인진선이 미라서 주루리도 세상던 거요마도 미라고 지고 어떤 거 지금 동시리 강한라 제자식입니다. Next question.
Hello, Your Holiness. I'd like to first start by thanking you deeply and kindly for hosting us on behalf of everyone in my class here, for allowing us to come here to meet with you. It's truly a great honor and a great privilege to be here. So thank you so much. And my question would be is, now we're all students here, we're all looking to graduate, and we're going to be entering a new world. What advice could you give us students that can help us perhaps create a positive change in this world and try and change the way things are?
Very important question. Now, at the beginning I mentioned, you are generation 21st century. Now you should content it, right? You should not content existing situation. So many problems, so many killing. And sometimes the leaders also is causing problem. So this we cannot blame individual, but the way of thinking, way of life, whole society, and that creates our leaders' narrow-minded thinking. So therefore, now time comes, we have to work fundamental level change, more compassionate education. So now soon, because very soon the draft about secular ethics will be available. Now we are working some draft already sort of there. So that's the only hope. Through education, from kindergarten up to university level, the modern education something lacking. Now that modern education is something wrong, we never say that. It is very relevant, but not adequate. So now those fields with modern education not yet covered. Now that in that part we must create supplementary or supplement like that. So within this year, I think with the help of some scientists and Emory University and also some Delhi, India's some sort of organization, some NGO, we a few occasions we discuss. Now I think within this year, I think they finalize drafting. So these are our method. And whenever you see you live, share with your friend, from one individual, 10 human being, 100 human being, 100 human being, 100,000. That's the way. To share, to change way of thinking. So within my lifetime, I think the next 15, 20 years, I do not think I can see better world, or change the world, but you can see. Later part of 20th century, 21st century, I think can be more sensible human being, more compassionate human being. I'm telling some Chinese when I met, now China need some kind of cultural revolution. The previous cultural revolution motivated by anger, hatred. So it become very destructive. Now time come under the leadership of Communist Party, the compassionate should make compassionate society under the leadership of Communist Party. So cultural revolution with compassion. Then first day, corruption in China automatically reduce. Otherwise, it's more power, more corruption. In India also now, a lot of corruption. So these self-discipline with sort of the conviction, honest, truthful. These related with sense of respect other, sense of, I say, the oneness of human being. Then the honest come. With honest self-discipline come. Then these wrong things automatically reduce. Punishment from outside, I think, teach us cunningness. Wrongdoings, you see, 가서다, 그러다, but
So if you are in some kind of rules and regulations are imposed on us, then we also have this intelligence and we can find ways to avoid them and to be cunning.
So recently, my visit in East India. So I think one politician from BJP, you see, he accompanied with me. So within a few days, we become very close friend. Then one day I told him, I have 9 hours sleep, and then 5 hours meditation, mainly analytical meditation. That sharpening my mind, so that I can cheat other people more easily. Then he responds, very nicely. He only 6 hours sleep, so he cannot teach. He cannot cheating other people. So our intelligence, sometimes you see the negative negative
Used negative.
negative way. So like that. So therefore, I think honest, truthful, that very much related with less self-centered attitude and think more about others' well-being. Then your way of life become more honest, more truthful. So that brings self-discipline. Anger, attachment is part of our mind. But then awareness, self-discipline reduce. We let kasoda, kada anger that the covered, devakami chimuchu self-discipline.
So with self-discipline, we will not let ourselves be taken astray by anger and so forth.
So thank you. Now time come, and okay, I really appreciate and I really encouraged. At least I think 2-3 decades ago, right? So the effort now really bring some good result. Now you should consider seed further develop. Okay.